The world's top wingsuit flyers put on a stunning show for tourists who were left in awe at the bravery of these daredevils as they soared among the mountainous landscapes of Zhangjiajie in central China's Hunan province. The 10th World Wingsuit League (WWL) Wingsuit Flying World Championship held at the Chenmen Mountain National Forest Park in Zhangjiajie featured the world's top 16 flyers during the 4 days of competition last September. The starting platform is perched atop a mountain with an elevation of over 1,450 meters and a terrifying vertical drop to the landing point of 990 meters. After taking off, the flyers will glide through the air in a straight-line distance of approximately 1.3 kilometers. The competition consists of two main components, the first being a speed race which follows an S-shaped aerial course and is referred to as the aerial F1. Each wingsuit flyer is given 2 flight attempts, with the best time counting as their final result. The second challenge involves a fly-through competition, which sees targets placed between mountain gaps just 15 meters above the ground at the popular tourist site. These bullseye-shaped targets have a maximum diameter of 0.8 meters at the outer ring and just 10 centimeters at the center. Competitors, soaring through the air at incredible speed, must smash through the suspended bullseye with precision. Each flyer gets 2 chances, with their final score determined by the total number of rings struck across both attempts. Visitors marveled at the adrenaline-filled spectacle as these almost superhero-like competitors flew overhead.
Very crazy, very crazy. It's impressive, it's impressive. They probably need a lot of preparation to do that, and they were amazing and very brave people.
非常刺激，头回见这种真实的场景，去看到现在这个翼装飞行的现场。原来只在电视上看过，跟电视上看效果是不一样的，对吧？非常震撼，也非常刺激。
Datong City in North China's Shaanxi province works to conserve tens of thousands of stone Buddhist sculptures in Yungang Grottos, a UNESCO World Heritage. Located in a traditional coal mining city, Yungang Grottos were surrounded by major coal transportation routes. As a result, sulfur dioxide in the soot eroded the fragile statues in the grottos, which were cut from the mid-5th century to early 6th century AD. The site, with a carved area of 18,000 square meters, is home to 252 caves and niches and 51,000 statues. They represent the outstanding achievement of Buddhist cave art in China. In effort to protect the cultural heritage, local authorities suspended the old coal transportation road and built a new one away from the cultural site. Nearby residential buildings were also relocated for building the grottos into a scenic spot surrounded by planted forest. Removing dusts from stone Buddhist sculptures, leveling bends, and mending cracks, cultural relic conservators who work in dark grottos have to face a dozen of challenges. They are also deploying 3D scanning technologies to a building database for each sculpture.
现在采集的数据都在毫米跟亚毫米的级别，进行全窟的一个高精度复制是没有任何问题的。这样高精度的数据是为了记录文物现状，用于以后文物的修复，包括展览。
With a history of 1,500 years, the Yungang Grottos are characterized by both Chinese style and a Buddhist style that was introduced from India.
About 1 month before the new school year begins in Vietnam, ethnic children are taught Vietnamese as a preparation step in learning basic language skills. The initiative also improves education for children in remote areas. In the highland commune of Lao Cai province, more than 70% of pupils are ethnic minorities. These Hmong and Dao parents all want to send their children to class early before they enter grade 1, so they could learn how to communicate in and speak proper Vietnamese.
Cháu năm nay mới vào lớp 1 đấy, thì tiếng Việt thì chưa rõ, nên cũng rất là mong là các thầy cô ở đây thì sẽ giúp đỡ các cháu nhiều hơn.
Cho con đi học để biết tiếng Kinh sau này ạ.
Các bạn ở đây đều là sinh là dân tộc thiểu số, cho nên về cái ngôn ngữ tiếng Việt cũng có cái sự hạn chế rất là nhiều. Chính vì vậy mà chúng tôi cần có một cái bước đệm để cho các bạn ấy có những cái năng lực giao tiếp về tiếng Việt cơ bản nhất ạ.
Semasa primary boarding school for ethnic people welcomes more than 100 first graders this year. The students are children of Hmong, Dao, and Day ethnic groups, so they speak their mother tongues at home and only use Vietnamese at school. Therefore, Teachers who teach Vietnamese must also know the students' native languages. In class, the children learn Vietnamese by listening, speaking, reading and writing.
Đủ vốn tiếng Việt để học chương trình giáo dục phổ thông, đấy cũng là một cái công bằng trong giáo dục. Và khi các em được ra trường thì đặc biệt là ngành giáo dục tạo mọi điều kiện tốt nhất về cơ sở vật chất cũng như là các cái điều kiện ăn ở để cho học sinh ra ở bán trú ở các trường phổ thông dân tộc bán trú.
The Vietnamese language is a big part of the national identity in Vietnam, and so I think it's very important for all children to learn Vietnamese, of course. And you have to also balance that with the importance of maternal languages.
At the preschool level, children from 3 to 5 years old also enhance their Vietnamese language skills through music and literature activities.
Community tourism has revitalized many villages and rural areas across Vietnam. By highlighting indigenous culture and stunning natural landscapes, numerous localities are embracing sustainable tourism to create new livelihoods. In the Quan Son mountainous district of Thanh Hoa province, Bo Kung Cave was formed around 4 million years ago and is situated 420 meters above sea level. Stretching over 1 kilometer in length, the British Royal Cave Association reports that only about 5 caves worldwide feature stalactites like those in Bo Kung Cave, located in Chen village of Sun Tui commune.
Còn rất nhiều phần hang sâu phía trong chưa được khai thác, nhưng đi trải nghiệm hết tất cả hành trình đến tận cùng của hang thì chúng tôi được chứng kiến rất là nhiều những cái kỳ tích của thiên nhiên ở trong này.
Visitors to the mountainous region can experience the unique culture of the Thai ethnic group. In this village of Sun Dien commune, over half of the households here, or roughly 45 of them, are actively participating in community tourism. They are organized into 5 groups to manage and enhance the tourist experience.
Bây giờ ở làng mình thì đang có 5 tổ để phục vụ phát triển du lịch, như là đan lát này, ẩm thực này, lưu trú tại gia này, văn nghệ này, dệt thổ cẩm. Người dân có ý thức được là du lịch cộng đồng là luôn luôn gắn liền với đời sống của nhân dân.
Nhóm tổ chúng tôi là đan lát, thì chúng tôi lại tiếp tục như là rổ giá này, rồi là túi này. Hoa văn thì là trên cơ sở như là cái đặc sắc những hoa văn dệt thổ cẩm đấy.
Tourism is a key driver of economic development in Quan Son district. It not only boosts local income but also helps preserve and promote the traditional cultural values of ethnic groups. Located near the Nam Mio International Border Gate, Thanh Hoa Province in Vietnam and Hoa Pun Province in Laos have jointly developed the Quan Son Viếng Dễ Tour. This collaborative effort offers unique ecotourism experiences for both domestic and international tourists.
The number of malicious and false statements spread by SMS or social media platforms have become too widespread. The public is advised to be careful and not fall for such ploys and sharing or forwarding such messages. Remember that spreading fake news is an offense under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. This carries the penalty of a fine not exceeding 50,000 ringgit or up to 1 year imprisonment or both upon conviction.
Rohingya refugee Sayed fled Myanmar for a second time last August, after he was forced to fight alongside the military that drove his family out of their homeland years earlier. Sayed, whose name has been changed to protect him from reprisals, is one of thousands of young men from the stateless and persecuted Muslim minority, rounded up to wage a war not of their own making. Their recruitment into the ranks of junta-run Myanmar's military has prompted revenge attacks against civilians and pushed thousands more into Bangladesh, already host to around 1 million Rohingya refugees.
Ada din the jangan asin hakan shadoigo ti bangai shadoigo un mani keshu bakai hai keshu hai ne din tianai hine buwa shenga mo dase keshu mo tu tudase dadante ba din go gidi besa go gun go bai gun edi bai.
The minority in Myanmar are suffering a lot, Sayed said. Soon after his escape and return to the squalid Bangladeshi relief camp, he has called home for the past 7 years. The 23-year-old said he was enlisted by a Rohingya armed group operating in the camps in June and sent to fight against the Arakan army, a rebel group waging war against Myanmar's junta, to carve out its own autonomous homeland. He and other Rohingya recruits were put to work as porters, digging ditches and fetching water for Myanmar troops, as they bunkered in against advancing rebel troops. Sent on patrol to a Muslim village, Sayed was able to give his captors the slip and cross back over into Bangladesh. He is one of around 14,000 Rohingyas to have made the crossing in recent months as the fighting near the border has escalated, according to figures given by the UN Refugee Agency to the Bangladeshi government. Experts say that at least 2,000 Rohingyas have been forcibly recruited from refugee camps in Bangladesh this year, along with many more Rohingya living in Myanmar who were also conscripted. Those pressed into service in Bangladesh say they were forced to do so by armed groups, apparently in return for concessions by Myanmar's junta that could allow them to return to their homelands. However, both the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army and the Rohingya Solidarity Organization, the two armed groups operating in the camps, have denied conscripting or recruited refugees. The UN Human Rights Office said it had information that the Myanmar military and the Arakan army had both committed serious abuses against the Rohingya during the conflict. Other rights groups say that the press-ganging of Rohingya into service alongside Myanmar troops has fueled retaliatory attacks by the Arakan army. In the worst documented instance, watchdog Fortify Rights said in August that the rebel group had killed more than 100 Rohingya men, women and children in a drone and mortar bombardment on the border. The Arakan army has repeatedly denied responsibility for the attack and accusations of targeting Rohingya civilians in general. But many of the thousands of new refugees crossing into Bangladesh accuse the group of killings. Mohammed Johar, 22, said that his brother-in-law was killed in a drone attack he blamed on the Arakan army while the pair were fleeing the border town of Mongdor early September. He added that the Myanmar military could not keep up with the powerful Arakan army and the Muslims are dying because of the war.
Military lo magbagilero maramari sorga ta ara taina varita la regorde talata ara musalman kol mari felar mara sira kol beshi dikki sina battimade 180 জন mara dikki ara ebata madi tara hodun ekka kajata ase dina ara tensibi dujji ara rio nizogone basona nhere tare tunama ara nina vari kala ara bum mare dian la dum kol mare dian la to zenno zen nama mara kol dorian madio no ashidiam madio mara kol dorian hasa do dum kol mare dian la halo tara ni ala de beshi zoro made bizi ni ala de beshi azad 4-5,000 মানুষ হইব তাই দিন তুমাক বাগি বুম মারে দুম মারে বড় বড় ডাটিয়ার কল মারি মানুষ মারি ফেলাই তার হইসা হুমান বেড়াই নকল জেলে যায় রে তারা জুলুম করে করে মারি ফেলাই তো সরব মাঝে 300 মানুষকে মারি ফেলাই দে কেসু রাত থাড়াগি হই কেসু আতি নিয়ে গিয়ে কেসু জুলা নিয়ে গিয়ে যেটা মাঝে বেশি মানুষ মারি ফেলাই
Bangladesh has struggled for years to accommodate its immense population of refugees, most of whom arrived after a 2017 military crackdown in Myanmar, which is the subject of an ongoing UN genocide investigation. Still reeling from the sudden overthrow of its previous government by a student-led revolution in August, Bangladesh says the new arrivals are not welcome, as it is beyond their capacity to give shelter to anyone else. But after deadly attacks on some of the estimated 600,000 Rohingya still living in Myanmar, the new arrivals said they had no choice but to seek safety across the border. 20-year-old Bibi Farizah crossed the border with her young daughter and parents along with her siblings.
বেশি তৈরি খোঁজুন আইয়ে আর খোঁজুন তেয়াল্লা বলে মজবুরি আইনা পারে আইবেলা বেগুন তৈরি গিয়ে মানে এ দুনাই আর মানুষ
High Commissioner of the UN Refugee Agency Filippo Grandi recently called for a new approach to the Rohingya crisis, saying that the international communities should do more to end the miseries of more than 1 million Rohingyas in the camps in Bangladesh.
Every single one of us is a content creator and content consumer. For the last 20 years, the Content Forum has focused on creating safer digital spaces and more inclusive content for all Malaysians. To aid this mission, we are launching a nationwide public consultation exercise and need your help. We want your feedback on the newly proposed revisions to the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Content Code. Key focus areas of the revisions include promoting the rights of persons with disabilities, addressing the exploitation of religion in selling products or services, encouraging influencers to be responsible advertisers, addressing online gender-based violence. Help us strengthen self-regulation in the Malaysian content ecosystem. Better content, better Malaysia. Visit www.contentforum.my now.
A new Javan rhino calf has recently been spotted in an Indonesian national park, further boosting hopes for one of the world's most endangered mammals after 2 other sightings this year. The female calf, believed to be between 3 and 5 months old, was spotted in camera trap footage taken in May at Java's Ujung Kulon National Park. A find only made public last September by Indonesia's Environment and Forestry Ministry. The mammal named Iris was seen walking with her mother. Park official Ardi Indono said this is positive news for the wider community that the Javan rhino is still sustainable. Iris, the 3rd calf identified this year, was found after authorities deployed more than 100 camera traps across the national park in February. 2 more calves were spotted earlier this year at the park, which is the only habitat left for the critically endangered animal. After years of population decline, authorities believe there are 82 Javan rhinos left inside the 120,000-hectare sanctuary of lush rainforest and freshwater streams. The rhinos, which have folds of loose skin giving them the appearance of wearing armor plating, once numbered in the thousands across Southeast Asia but have been hard hit by rampant poaching and human encroachment. Activists have disputed official figures after authorities recently uncovered a poaching gang that claimed to have killed 26 rhinos since 2018.
This northern long-necked turtle may not look that comforting or cuddly, but at a Darwin Children's Clinic, Timmy has taken on the role of therapy turtle, and he's helping hundreds of young people.
Hey Jazz, would you like to see Timmy today? Okay.
Jasmine is living with rheumatoid arthritis.
We've been coming here for, about 3 years with her very complex medical condition that she has. Timmy's great because he's an alternative sort of therapy animal, I guess.
His unusually calming presence makes clinic visits a much less stressful affair.
Then they don't know what's going on and they don't necessarily understand what, mum and dad or their carers and the doctors are talking about or what's going on with their body. So, does make it a much nicer experience.
They're no longer focusing on their pain, they're no longer focusing on why they're at the doctor. and really makes such a massive difference.
Timmy was abandoned by a local law firm years ago.
When he first arrived, I noticed that he was always at the tank wanting to interact with the kids. And so I started taking him out and taking him outside for walks.
He's been helping children like Jasmine ever since.
Older adults often have rheumatoid arthritis, but when you have it as a child, it's often much more severe. So Jasmine, battles with pain every day, and being able to hold Timmy and cuddle Timmy, as you saw, it can be really helpful for her pain and certainly for her anxiety.
A therapy turtle helping young people feel comfortable in their shells. Roxanne Fitzgerald, ABC News.
Thailand's Khao Keo Open Zoo in Chonburi Province has applied to the Intellectual Property Department for trademark certification of the zoo's iconic pygmy hippo calf, Mu Deng, and is awaiting approval. Zoo's director Narangwit Chodchoy said the zoo is also offering an opportunity for creative individuals to design a logo and related symbols for Mu Deng to be used as the zoo's official trademark. Mu Deng, a 3-month-old calf, whose fame has gone viral globally, is at the center of this initiative. According to the regulations, tourists can take photos and draw pictures of Mu Deng at their discretion, but anyone violating a certified trademark could be subject to legal action, risking a fine of up to 800,000 baht or $24,000 and a prison term of up to 4 years. Merchandises related to Mu Deng already include pillows, pajamas, dolls, clothes, baked goods and lined stickers. Mu Deng fever has led to an increase in tourist numbers at the zoo in Chonburi Province. Before July, when the calf was born, approximately 70,000 tourists visited the zoo. Soon after, the number of visitors increased to 162,000 in September. The zoo expects the number could reach 210,000 or about 7,000 visitors per day this October month, when schools are on a break.
Young people with a sweet tooth are flocking to an experimental chocolate museum in the eastern Chinese city of Qingdao, where every exhibit is crafted from chocolate. The Chop Choco Chocolate Museum spans 4 stories and offers a blend of interactive and educational experiences, all centered around chocolate. Visitors are greeted with intricate ocean-themed sculptures, replicas of world-famous oil paintings, and even fashionable handbags, all edible. The exhibits here evoke scenes reminiscent of the famous American film, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Adding to the museum's charm are the meticulously crafted chocolate models of Qingdao's iconic landmarks, including the historic museum of the former German governor's house, the picturesque Zhongqiao Pier, and the majestic Catholic Church. Since its opening last April, the museum has been a hit with visitors from across the country, particularly youngsters and families with children, eager to explore the sweet wonders.
We saw this place on Douyin. The reviews were really good, so we brought our children here to have fun and learn about the chocolate making process.
A lot of sweet stuff, but also a lot of informative stuff that I saw upstairs in the video, so really interesting.
A standout feature of the museum is on the 3rd floor, where guests can unleash their creativity by making personalized chocolate goodies.
Uncle Rogers. Malaysian comedian and YouTube star Nigel Ng achieved a new Guinness World Record on Saturday, September 14th, for the largest assembly of people dressed as his iconic character, Uncle Roger. The event, held outside a shopping mall in Kuala Lumpur, saw 388 people successfully counted as donning Uncle Roger's trademark orange polo shirt and black pants. The jubilant crowd celebrated by chanting Fuyo, a signature catchphrase of Ng's viral online character who comedically critiques food-related content and world-renowned chefs.
Today we did the Guinness World Record attempt for the largest gathering of people dressed up as Uncle Roger.
And we did it because I felt this would be a cool YouTube video idea, and it'll be a fun way to announce the restaurant. As opposed to just announcing it, we do this kind of large-scale challenge.
Although he felt great to get the record, Ng said he was nervous not enough participants would show up.
It felt great to get the record. It's so hard to get so many people to dress up and get it into one room. So we were a bit nervous in the beginning. But are people going to show up? Will we have enough people? Will they show up with the right outfit? You know, the bell phone case, very important. But everybody came, they showed up.
The celebration also marked the grand opening of the Fuyo, its Uncle Roger restaurant at the Pavilion KL shopping mall in the Malaysian capital. Fans thronged the opening on September 11th, with some arriving even before the mall opened. Uncle Roger initially teased the restaurant's launch in a YouTube video on July 1st, describing it as a little secret just for loyal niece and nephew watching. The 33-year-old Ng has achieved significant success, including 9.34 million subscribers on YouTube, critiquing and reviewing videos of chefs and other individuals cooking while in character, which is most commonly associated with egg fried rice. Meanwhile, Uncle Roger's supporters expressed their pride in Ng as a prominent Malaysian YouTuber. His fans praised him for bringing Malaysian culture to a global audience.
And I think he really made Malaysian proud, Malaysian accent, Malaysian slangs, the whole thing. So just want to support him and support fried rice. Yeah.
Me and all of you, okay? And afterward, I'm gonna give quick speech, so stick around quickly.
I thought it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. It's just a unique experience. We come from the United States, so world records are very common. So being here in Malaysia, it was just something really unique. We've watched Uncle Roger for a couple of years now on YouTube, and we were excited he was opening his restaurant and doing these world records. I think he's really funny. I think he's a good personality. He developed this type of character to kind of bring comedy, not only for the Malaysian people, but for everybody worldwide. So I think that he's really an interesting character.
We know they traveled all the way from Penang. You have to try Uncle Roger's egg fried rice.
It was amazing, man. I mean, I traveled like 14 hours extra for the event. So yeah, all the people here, all the Uncle Roger's, amazing. Yeah.
From making funny videos in his apartment to opening a restaurant, Nigel Ng, aka Uncle Roger's journey, highlights his evolution from a comedian to a restaurateur.
So it's a great feeling, you know, to feel that much love and support for me and for the restaurant. Fuyo, it's Uncle Roger restaurant. Yeah, it feels great.
Good morning.
Yeah.
388 you have achieved.